Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode. And as you can see from the title, this episode is the first in sort of a very mini series of episodes, which I'm doing at the end of Nightfall called Choices. There's going to be two. There's going to be Choices, and then there's going to be a series dealing with the quests and things that happen after Nightfall. So this is the first, and this is where I'm going to be going through and showing you guys all the other choices we could have made. The episodes are going to be very compact. There's not going to be really any combat, I'm hoping, at all in them. We're just going to be looking at the quest text and sort of what was happening, particularly with the Master of Whispers. I've mentioned him loads, and I realise I probably sounded a little bit bitter through the LP, as if, oh, I wish I'd picked him because he had so much more to say. It's not that at all. It's just that there is quite a lot to talk about with the Master of Whispers. So yeah, we'll be seeing his stuff, but first, before we do that, I want to show you something here at Abaddon's Gate. And this is the Easter egg I was mentioning in the last episode, which I decided not to do. Oh, sorry, I may as well turn all this stuff off. Every episode recently, have you noticed this? Every episode I've forgotten to do this. I'm so sorry, guys. There we go. Right, so there's an Easter egg in this. There's an Easter egg in this mission. Which is pretty cool. It's kind of a reference to a film, and a lot of people know about this. They've known about it for a long time, and indeed I knew as well. I remember in one of my old guilds, the leader was saying to me, "Oh, have you seen the White Rabbit at the end of the Abaddon's Gate mission?" And I was like, "What White Rabbit?" And I didn't really know what the term meant at the time. I was being a bit of a moron, and I thought he meant literally there was like a little white rabbit out here, but really that he just meant that there was an Easter egg here. And ever since that, actually, quite funnily enough, I've really been keen on the idea of sort of, if ArenaNet had put a tiny little white rabbit out here in the, out in the middle of this final outpost, and just the darkness, just a single small white rabbit, that would be so cool, don't you think? It would be amazing if like ArenaNet did that for something like in Ore in Guild Wars 2 or something. But yeah. Anyway, so this is Abaddon, as we can see him again going back into the mission. But we're not going to fight him. You'll see I'm alone, in fact. And here's the Easter egg, actually. If you come up to him and look at him in all of his menacing glory and decide that you really don't care about him, I think you can be on the other side of the bridge when you do it. So you kind of stare at him, and if you get cocky and decide to do /dance, I would love to have seen the faces of the first person to do this. Abaddon starts dancing back at you. Check that out. It's amazing. I think it's actually kind of like the warrior dance, but he does kind of his own version of it. They took the time to put this hidden animation and everything in here. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And you keep dancing, he keeps dancing, and then he insta-wipes everyone doing the rock sign. And a message actually comes up, which I don't think you can see, which is kind of annoying me. But a message comes up saying, "You got served," which is pretty great, I think. Very nice little Easter egg. So yeah, I was really happy about that. I hope we see more stuff like that in the future. Anyway, so that was the White Rabbit, I guess. Let's come back out of the Realm of Torment. And let's go to the Sunspear Sanctuary, because really this is where our choices first started to come off. There was the one choice with Acolyte Jin and Acolyte Susuke, which I will show you as well. But this was kind of the first big one. This was Master of Whispers or Margaret the Sly, and it completely changed a lot of the storyline. Now, obviously, I've completed the game. I can go back and do those missions, but I can't see exactly what the dialogue would have been like originally. So we're not going to be seeing it with Matt. We're going to be saying goodbye to Matt for a little while, just for these couple of episodes. And instead, our friend Tom Bluewood, right here, if this guy got out of the way. Okay, there we go. He's gone. So yeah, Tom Bluewood, we're going to be doing it with, not Peter. I don't know whether any of you were wondering that, but I did that episode ages ago where I brought Tom to Nightfall, so I was like, why not? Let's bring him. So we'll be seeing him as he goes through, and we'll be seeing all the other options. So, like magic, we're going to swap over to him. And we're going to continue our story. So, do you remember ages ago, we went out into the command post. I'll show you this first. And we did everyone's quests, if I remember correctly. We did absolutely everyone's quests, except Maloney's. I said Maloney's quest's okay, but it doesn't really have much relevance unless you were to pick the Master of Whispers. Do you remember that? So, actually, I will show you Maloney's quest, and I haven't got a party, which is pretty stupid. So, I'll show you the quest, and then I'll add a party, and we'll go out. So this is what Maloney has to say. Remember, before we came to this Sunspear Sanctuary, it was an old abandoned temple to Melandru, which the Elon used to flow through. And Maloney says, when we cleansed our sanctuary, I felt something was not right. The river itself feels tainted. The waterworks to the east irrigates most of Kormir. We should send a party to the floodplain of Mankellen to investigate. If there is a connection between the darkness that sundered the Sunspears and the river, all of Kormir may be affected. Okay, so let's get going. Right, so So she's mentioned the floodplain of Mankellen, and if you remember in my LP, when we were Matt, I think the only time we went there was we walked there accidentally, and I shouldn't have actually gone there. It's kind of a big place. There's quite a few things to see around there, and we never really experienced any of that. So that's going to be the first thing really we start to see. So let me add my party, and I will cut it. As I say, I'm going to try and get rid of as much combat as possible. So I'm going to cut it until we're actually out there at the floodplain, near the objective. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so here we go. We're coming out to the floodplain here. This is just outside of the Kormir crossroads, okay? And as you guys can see, the quest marker is up north there. So, do you know what? I think I'll actually speed it up since we haven't seen this outpost at all. This explorable area at all. So we might as well do that. So as you can see, there's lots of Hecate around here. Obviously this is Hecate Central. You see this big building here with the windmills and stuff. This is the waterworks, which we'll be seeing a lot more of, particularly inside it soon enough. The quest mark is a little bit north. We're probably going to have to fight some Hecate. Oh no, they didn't want to fight us. Okay, cool. Right, so here's where we need to go. There's this guy here called Turlon. He says, "Help, don't let these beasts eat me. I'm too young to die." Oh my god, look at all the Hecate. There are so many Hecate. There's a boss over there as well. Roundback, he's called. Okay, so that's them dead. Turlon wants to speak to us. He says, "Please don't hurt me. I have a family." It's okay. I just saved your life. Why would I want to hurt you? He says, "Wait, you're sun spears, aren't you? Please don't hurt me." Oh yeah, because everyone hates sun spears at this point in the story. "I have a family that depends on me. Have I seen anything strange?" Yeah, you could say that. Bale and Varish, don't forget General Bale still alive, were just here assessing the situation. Something dark seeped into the facility recently. Its presence is agitating the creatures, making them fiercer than they were before. It's affecting the waters as well. I don't know what it is, none of us do. We've had to double our shifts just to keep the machinery working, pumping the water from the Elon. Thank you for sparing me. I will tell no one of your visit. The last thing I need is more trouble. Wow. So everyone really hated us. I forgot about that. It kind of you forget about it. Once you reach Vabi, everyone's like, "Yay, sun spears!" But back here, no one really likes us. Okay, so this is like a little introduction to the floodplain, I guess you could say. And yeah, something's dark has seeped into the facility. This is what we're going to learn about with the Master of Whispers. I think we can speak to Lonai to get our reward, actually, can't we? I like that Lonai survived the whole story, by the way. That was pretty cool, isn't it? And Matt still stood there like a lemon. Okay. So there is something fouling up the waterworks. That would explain all the complaints we've received regarding the river's flow. This can't be mere coincidence. I suspect this is an element of Varish's larger plan. You need to head out to determine what is consuming the water. Go. Right, okay, but you'll notice we don't actually get a follow-up quest. We do, however, get to do our choice quest. So you remember this quest, Mysterious Message. So, you freed the centaurs? I hope you didn't suffer any injuries. Whenever you leave, something unexpected happens. A djinn showed up and delivered this cryptic message for you. Do you remember we never really learnt much about this djinn that sent the message? It mentions a passage to Vabi and contains the location of a rendezvous point. Nirashi looked at it and said it points to the Jahai Bluffs, near a monument dedicated to Palawa Joko's defeat. Do be careful. Okay, so remember this quest, I hope you do, and you go up there and it turns out that the Marshal Whispers and Margaret the Sly are waiting for us. So let's pay them a visit.
They are in great danger.
That's not news. Everyone's in great danger these days.
Especially you, it seems.
With great danger comes great profit.
You play a dangerous game, Corsair.
And you don't, Hunter?
I realize that the stakes here are higher than mere money.
What could be more important than money?
Your soul, child. They will need our help soon.
Fine by me, as long as they're able to pay.
I fear that they will pay most dearly.
Yes, and in a way he's kind of right. Kormir did basically die. Oh yeah, remember I mentioned that I consider her dead? That's really because she never comes back to the real world after she's sucked into torment there, so she's never immortal on Tyria anymore. So I kind of consider, that's why I consider her dead. She does become a god, but yeah. Anyway, heroes, there are yet more secrets in the shadow. Through my contacts among Corsairs, I have found a passage around the fortress of Jahai that will take you to Vabi. However, it is guarded by a demonic creature that must be destroyed. But I have other news. My Corsair contact tells me that your Spear Marshal Kormir is not dead. She is alive and imprisoned on an island fortress adjacent to Gandhara. You have two great opportunities, but there is not enough time for you to do both. At this very moment, the great demon known as the Drought gains power at the waterworks to the north. Soon it will be too powerful to stop, and even as we speak, Kormir's captors plan for her demise. Either journey with me to open the passage to Vabi, or go with my Corsair contact to rescue your friend. I believe you know her, Margaret the Sly. So, last time we went with Margaret. This time we'll go with the Master of Whispers. The Master has spoken and it's time to make a choice. Let's fight this drought, shall we? You must know there is a great darkness falling across Elona. As a demon hunter, it is my task to keep that from happening. Before we can kill our adversary to the north, I must meet with an ally. We will find her at the Dejarin estate, where I can arrange for your first test. Test? I'll pass with flying colours. So, and this is kind of where we learn a little bit more about the Jinn. Let's come over here. And if you also remember, a long time ago when we came down here once, I mentioned that there were some NPCs to the side, and I completely ignored them. I said, oh, they're related to another quest. It's a bug that they're there. That was this quest. I'll be shocked if any of you do remember that. It was such a throwaway comment. Anyway, here's lots of Jinn, the Master of Whispers. What does he have to say to us? He says, no need to introduce yourself. I know exactly who you are and what you are capable of. Half the people you've met in Istan work for me, whether they realise it or not. My name, that is unimportant. All you need to know is that I am an ally, and that I know as much about our enemies as I do about you. Such a mysterious man. Okay, and did the Jinn want to talk to us? The Jinn looks so awesome. I really kind of wish the Jinn had more of a role to play, except for that big bit in Vabi. They don't want to talk to us. And then there's this other Jinn here. Deja, who's a really cool character actually. Deja says, the river flows and I with it. I am one with the river, I am its protector. Now remember what Deja looks like, okay? Because I missed something quite important about Deja before. Okay, secrets in the shadow. So it is you the Master has chosen. If you can survive this crucible, perhaps you can assist us in our battle. These Jinn are our allies. We fight for a common cause. So basically, indeed, we both wish to push back this dark presence, which threatens our very existence within the Elon. But before we face the drought, you must first pass unscathed through this crucible. And they're going to throw loads of the drought's minions at us. The land itself is changing, it is becoming tormented. These are lesser demons, a sign of what is to come. So, even though they are lesser demons and we fought a lot more in the LP, don't forget I'm on a new character and using henchmen now, not heroes, so the difficulty probably will be quite high anyway. I will call those we have trapped beneath the earth, and here you go. Can you see these droughtlings coming? I like how they're called droughtlings, it's quite cool. If you're playing with a compass, this is quite a fun mission. Pretty much, I think you have to stop people from dying. And these guys are earth elementals, they do a lot of damage. But, like, you've got to kind of catch them all, if I remember correctly. And they use, like, stone daggers and stuff. I'm probably going to fail. Anyway, I get to cut the combat, so even if I do fail, you guys don't get to see it. So I'll see you in a second. Well, it turns out I didn't fail at all. It was remarkably easy. They didn't even attack anyone. So, there we go. The Master of Whispers says, you survived most admirably. The first rule of hunting demons is to avoid becoming one. Now, we must move quickly before our enemies grow stronger. Maybe a little bit hint of sort of the whole Abaddon's taint thing there. Anyway, so, we will work together so long as you choose the right path. There are others who plan to rescue Kormir with Margrid, but I cannot say what will become of them. Do not concern yourself with that. We must first weaken the drought's outer defences. It grows in power with every passing moment. The sooner we end this, the better. Deja will meet us when we are ready. Are you prepared to slay the demon? And the reward for this quest is that the Master of Whispers will join us. So yeah, this is Deja. Deja's going to help us. He says, the drought not only makes this secret route to Vabi impassable, but soon it will barrel down the Elon, cross the channel and destroy the Istani homeland. The droughtlings have formed a defensive perimeter around the exterior of the waterworks. Once we clear through the perimeter of droughtlings, we must rush in and cut off the water pumps that strengthen the drought. Make haste, we have demons to hunt. So we go to the floodplain. Easily missed dialogue there, by the way. A lot of people obviously just zone out the second they've got a new objective. not one of the worst. I would say probably one of the worst bits of dialogue you can miss in this whole game is that bit in Factions where you've just completed the Takanai Temple mission, and there's like this unique dialogue you get with Menlo and Togo that I showed you. But the only way to see it is if you go back sort of the way you came towards the portal for no apparent reason to trigger them to talk, which is quite strange. But it like sheds some light on Menlo's past, like the whole how his father was of Balthazar and his mother of Duena and stuff. Anyway, so the first part of this quest is very simple. We're going to be sort of walking around the perimeter of these areas I've already shown you around the building. And we'll be fighting Drought, so I can cut most of this out until we get more dialogue. To kill a demon. Are you ready? It's time to slay these Droughtlings and cleanse the Elon of their wretched presence. So you get lots of markers. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so there we go, that's the last one's dead, and the Marshal of Whispers says the perimeter is clear. We must now report to Deja to gain access to the waterworks. Deja, funnily enough, is like right up here on the north where we already were, which is kind of weird. I don't like the way they did that on this quest, because it just means you have to aimlessly walk for ages with no real purpose. If they just moved Deja to there, it would have been a lot more streamlined and a lot nicer, but there you go. So yeah, that's the perimeter broken through, and now we've got to try and get inside the waterworks, because this is where the Drought is. I like playing with Suru again. I love the way Suru looks. He's so cool. No offense to Corey, but Suru is like 20 times better. Anyway, I'll let them fight and speak to Deja. Hello, Deja. Can you feel it? The corrupted presence of the Drought emanates strongly from deep within the walls of this compound. Excellent work! With the perimeter cleansed of Droughtlings, we can move forward with the plan. Tell us what you need to do. The Drought resides deep within the heart of this complex. I will be able to help you gain entrance, but that is all. You must journey within to rid the Elon of this dark place. We will stage our attack from Ryland Refuge. Are you ready? So this sort of teleports you to one of the nearby outposts, which I never showed you in the main LP. In fact, I think this is the last outpost that we've never seen, and we get a cutscene.
There is a demonic force here, brought from the realm of torment. That creature now seeks to become the river.
What do you mean, become the river?
Life here depends on the ebb and flow of the river Elon. Should the demon bind the river to its will, nothing here will save Kormir from its taint.
It's good to see you're concerned about your fellow countrymen.
Their lives are immaterial. But should Abaddon's influence spread further, the consequences will be dire.
How do you know all of this?
I make it my business to know. Now come, we must talk to Deja. She will help us defeat the demon.
Okay, so this is the Ryland Refuge outpost. It's very near where Modoc Crevice is. If you remember, the Passage to Vavi is about here, and it's just a very short walk. There's actually a quest where you get a very cool scythe called the Banana Scythe. Maybe I'll show you it, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, let's speak to Deja, who now... Holy shit, what the hell is going on here? Now Deja looks like just a regular person. Yeah, this is a unique trait of the Jinn that we never really discussed before. The Jinn can appear any way they want to. In fact, she's got a scythe that I had for a very long time in the LP. She says, I may look like a simple engineer, but in truth I am none other than the Jinn who has helped you thus far. You must now prepare for battle. When you are ready, I will help you gain access to the Mankellen Waterworks. I cannot enter with you, but the Master of Whispers will join your party to make sure the operation goes down smoothly. So, there we go. A hero unlocked. A figure so mysterious he even hides his real name. The Master of Whispers has been in all corners of Elona. His intentions, however, remain hidden. So, there we go. We'll read the description. Located high above the banks of the Elon River, the refuge is used by the nearby villagers and workers as a temporary camp. When the Elon River overflows its banks every spring to give life back to the fertile plains, the residents of the surrounding area retreat here until the floods have subsided and the land is restored once more. So I think the River Elon, especially from this description, is pretty much inspired by the Nile. But yeah, so next episode, guys, I'm hoping to be kind of short, snappy episodes. I don't know how short this is going to be because of all the combat I'm going to cut out. But yeah, next episode we'll be doing this mission and continuing on. So I will see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the episode.